Today we are going to conduct the experiment on minor losses. So here we will be determining the head loss coefficient for various fittings along the pipe. This is the minor loss apparatus which we can see. This is the pump which is used to allow the water to flow from the sump into the pipe. Here we can see long bend. This is collar. Here we can see sudden expansion of the pipe. That means there is a small dia pipe and a big dia pipe. This is of ½ inch and this is of 1 inch. And on the other side we can see sudden contraction of the pipe. So here we can see big dia pipe and this is small dia pipe. And at the end we can see elbow. This is what is the collecting tank which is used to collect the water. Here we can see the piezometer tube which will help us to note down the height of water being collected in the tank. The area of the tank will be known to us, that is breadth and length of the tank will be given as the observation. We need to note down how much is the height of water being collected in the tank for a particular amount of time using the stopwatch. Here we can see the manometer which is used to note down the head of water. Here if we want to measure the head loss coefficient for the long bend, we have to see to it that the ball valve for the same is open and rest will have to be closed. So here we can see there are 5 ball valves on each side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and on the other side also 5 valves. If you want to measure head loss coefficient for the long bend, we will keep all the ball valves closed, that is rest of the 4, and we will keep first ball valve open. So here the entry point at the long bend is connected to the left limb of the manometer and exit point of the long bend is connected to the right limb of the manometer. So while measuring head loss coefficient for the long bend, we will keep these ball valves open so that the water flows and we will be able to note down what is H1 and what is H2. After we determine the head loss coefficient for long bend, now we need to determine the head loss coefficient for collar. So here also we can see that at the 2 points there is a connection with the manometer, that is at the entrance of the collar and at the exit of the collar. That means the left point is connected to the left limb of the manometer and exit point of the collar is connected to the right limb of the manometer. To determine head loss coefficient for the collar, we will keep first, third, fourth and fifth ball valves closed and we will only open the ball valves for the collar and note down what is H1 and H2. Similarly, to determine head loss coefficient for the sudden expansion, we need to keep the ball valves of first, second, fourth and fifth closed and we will have to open only the third ball valves so that the water flows and we will be able to determine H1 and H2. Here we can see that entry point at the sudden expansion is connected to the left limb and the exit point is connected to the right limb. That means the point at the smaller dia pipe is connected to left side and the point at the bigger dia is connected to the right side. So once we determine the head loss coefficient for sudden expansion, we need to find out the head loss coefficient for sudden contraction. The point at bigger dia is connected to the left point limb of the manometer. So in order to find the head loss coefficient for sudden contraction, we will keep first, second, third and fifth ball walls closed, and we will only open the fourth ball walls in order to note down what is H1 and H2. After we determine the head loss coefficient for sudden contraction, we need to find out head loss coefficient for the elbow. Here also we can see that at the entry and exit we can see two connections. So entry point is connected to the left side of the manometer and exit point at the elbow is connected to the right side of the manometer. Now we will be able to determine H1 and H2 keeping the ball walls open, and first to fourth ball walls will be closed in that case.